and welcome back to the GorillaBiker as we're here at the lovely Kells Priory. I have done a video on this place. If you want to see it, I'll leave a link up above my head. So if you watch the channel and watch all the videos, you'll know that this is a video continuing straight on from another video that I made. And that's partially because I'm going on holidays to Italy for 2 weeks, so I wanted to get some stuff recorded, some things off my chest, so to speak. But chief among those is this is actually the last day I have with this bike. My friend who's buying it off me is collecting it in the morning, and it's sad, but we'll go through a few things why, you know, I'm happy it's a friend buying it. And you know, the first thing, it's something that I was asked when I sold the Phaser as well, which was also to a buddy of mine, and that is, you know, and I've been asked this question ever since I released the video about going to America. I've been asked, you know, why did you fix the bike so much if you thought you might not be able to keep it? And that's a pretty easy question to answer for me, to be honest. I kind of always hope that, and by the way, Ireland, if you're not from Ireland, the Irish biking community is quite small. And the thing for me is, you know, I always kind of hope a friend will buy the bikes, because I love my bikes. It's like my kids, you know. If you're gonna sell some kids, you probably want to sell them to like a family member or a friend. And you know, that's a huge deal for me, that, you know, it is a buddy buying my bike. And that also kind of answers the question really straight off the bat, you know, about the community being small and why I did so much to make the bike as right as I could. Because, you know, I would not sell a bike, for instance, how I bought this one. I would not sell a bike that possibly had any issues that I knew of, which may be safety related. You know, okay, everyone makes mistakes. You know, people miss things. You know, you could sell a bike that you have in perfect condition and the engine could blow. Anything like that could happen, and it might not be your fault. That's understandable. These things do happen in life. You know, I don't think everyone's out to get people. I actually generally think the best of most people when I can. If they give off bad vibes, I ain't gonna think that about. But we're out here today with Greg, and Greg is kind of proof of the pudding. You know, I met Greg like a year ago. Well, like a year and a half ago, and he's just a good person. You know, a nice dude, and he likes bikes. So I mean, that's 90% of the way there anyway. But that's, you know, why did I put so much effort into it? Well, the answer is kind of twofold. The first reason, because, you know, I wanted to ride this bike and enjoy it, and like I said in the Moving to America video, if you haven't seen that yet, again, I'll leave a link up there, and you can have a watch of that as well if you want. But I wasn't 100% sure that move was going to go through, and I really fell in love with this bike. It's an absolutely fantastic machine. It is an absolute blast to ride on the road. I don't know about on track. I had plans for track, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know, will I get another track day in? Probably not. Time is fast running away from me before I'm leaving. And you know, it's so basically I fixed it for myself. I fixed it because any bike I get to dig into and throw parts onto, it's a learning experience, you know, and that's how I see it. And also, you know, if you fix things like brakes and chain and sprockets, the stuff I did on this, the major stuff I did on this, that does generally add value to a bike. Not always, it depends on the buyer. Some buyers will be like, well, I wanted to do that myself. But I suppose for me it was partially the learning experience, and partially that I just would not sell a bike that was not in good condition. It's not something I would do, you know, because I think if we all buy a bike, we want to just jump onto it, we want to go enjoy it. That's a natural bloody thing to do, isn't it? And I feel that kind of gets lost by a lot of people, you know, is that they don't really sell something the way they'd want to get it. And it kind of goes back to the whole thing, I don't know, maybe you weren't told this as a kid, I was, is treat people how you want to be treated. And that's why I try to treat everyone pretty nicely, because I want to be treated nicely, you know. I don't want to be shouted at, I don't want to be given out to, I don't want to be called names. So I don't do that thing, I don't do that stuff to other people. Because if you do that stuff for other people and then are shocked when it gets returned to you, you're probably stupid. You know, that's just simple. you're probably a wee bit thick. Yeah. Where and what are you doing? Yeah. Use those indicators you have on there. Makes everyone know what you're at. And that, you know, that's a huge part of it, is that I think it's just a decency thing. You know, if you spot things that are definitely wrong with a bike and you have it in your ability to fix them, and it's going to add value to the bike, which in this case I knew it would, then you can do that, you know, and you can do it without the fear of losing a ball of money on it. You can do it and just know that, you know, you're probably gonna get the money back. But you know, for me as well, I was talking to a few people who have Falcos and have owned Falcos a long time recently, and you know, some of them I've already put like nearly 4,000 kilometers onto this bike. And you know, one of the guys was laughing at me because he watched the video where I said, you know, I was moving to America and selling it. And he was like, well, you know, he said, due to life commitments and everything else, he said, I think I've probably put 4,000 kilometers on my Falco in the last 6 years. So he said, you know, don't be too sad. You really have gotten to experience the bike. And I do think I got to experience it the way it was meant to be experienced. It's a sports tourer. I sports toured across Germany. I sports toured across a chunk of Europe, a small chunk. And you know, then I brought back to Ireland, and I've done, you know, the Wicklow Gap. I've done, you know, lots of roads up around the mountains with my friends. And I brought it off myself and just enjoyed roads like this plenty of times. And I've commuted up and down to work on it. Everything a bike should be used for. I went to the shop, I've got milk, you know, simple stuff to the bigger stuff. And that to me is what a bike is for. So why did I fix it? Because I wanted to enjoy it. Like, if you look at when I fixed it, I brought it home, and then I brought it home, had to go to Germany for a week for work, and then immediately got COVID when I came home, or probably caught it on the way home, let's be real about it, on the plane or whatever else. And luckily I had already ordered all the parts that I thought I needed, and Toaster was able to collect them for me and drop them down into the shed, and I did all the work while I had COVID. And then as soon as I was better, I was able to just go out and enjoy my bike again. And you know, I have absolutely had a blast on this thing. You know, I probably put about 1,800 kilometers on it on the way back from Germany, which means that, you know, I put the same again on just out enjoying the bike. And you know, that's why I fixed it. That's why I put money into it, because it meant that I could enjoy it to the extent that it's supposed to be enjoyed. It's not, you know, bikes I think are I don't think bikes are dangerous per se. I think other road users are dangerous a lot, but I do think that there's less margin for error on bikes, and that's why I like to try to make sure my bikes are in tip-top condition, so that I can go out and enjoy them and have the peace of mind that, you know, my bike is functioning the way it should function, that my bike is in the condition it should be in, to be able to enjoy it without putting myself at any risk that I really should have avoided and could have avoided. And that's the other side of it, you know. If you sell a bike that you know there's issues with, you're probably some form of sociopath, you know, because I have seen this in the past where people sell on something that they know is about to blow up, and you know, they're just like, well, you know, I got my money back out of it, so that's all I care about. And I think it's a massive pity that that's kind of the way the world is, that people just look at it and say, you know, well, I recovered what I needed. And it goes back to the thing, treat people like how you want to be treated, you know. I would kind of hope that at some point that would come back to bite that type of person, you know, that they would get a crappy bike. Not that it would hurt them, but just that they'd get one that would also need a lot of work or whatever else that they weren't expecting. And that sadness at buying a new thing that you really wanted, that you saved up for, bites you in the ass. You know, that's all I can say about it. You know, I think it's a shitty thing to do, to sell something on with known issues, and I just wouldn't do it. You know, it's not in my makeup. And if I do sell something on with stuff that's wrong with it, you can be damn sure you'll be told You might be handed the spare parts that I didn't have time to put on, and that's it. You know, that's the crux of it. That is why I did what I did. That's why I do what I do. You know, like the phaser, when I sold the phaser, it had a leaky fork seal, so I rebuilt both forks. I sold it on to my friend, and you know, I hope he's enjoyed it. I hope he will enjoy it for years to come. We definitely haven't gotten to ride together enough, but you know, I know that the phaser is in capable hands. And the other thing is, you know, it kind of adds as well to the actual bike community in your area. So for instance, there's not many Falcos in the world. There's even less Falcos in Ireland. But now I know there'll be a good Falco in the bike gene pool here, you know what I mean? And the more people that try bikes like this, because this thing is a blast to ride, it's so much fun. The more people that try bikes like this and are left with a good taste in their mouth, all the better, because you know, they'll be more likely to try another bike. You know, it's a huge thing. And a very good friend of mine, Hatter, you know, he's had some bad experiences with a bike that he owns, a Victory. He's had some trouble with it. He's had bad mechanics with it. I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning this. And you know, he'll tell you that it's kind of almost turned him off bikes, and I think that is a massive pity. But at the same time, I can completely understand where he's coming from, because it does suck if you have something that is supposed to be for enjoyment, for transport. You know, that the thing that you want to go out, you want to tip that button down there and it just starts up and goes, and it doesn't do that, and it keeps not doing that. It's understandable. And then, you know, if you have that experience one or two times, a lot of people are going to throw the towel in. A lot of people are going to say, you know, I cannot keep doing this. I cannot keep throwing good money after bad into something that just doesn't work, and then they might leave bikes altogether, and that is at a detriment to the entire bike community, because we need more bikers. The more bikers on the road, the better, because there's less cars on the road, and they try to kill us. Look at that view. That's why I came this way. I don't know, can you see that? But it is stunning. There's like a valley over there, and then there's more peaks. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I suppose that's kind of you know, a huge part of it. And you know, I've been asked as well, am I sad to sell the Falco? Of course, absolutely. You know, I did put my time, money and effort into making this thing the way it is, into making it as nice to ride as it is. You know, there's a brand new chain and sprockets on there, there's good tires on there, the brakes are rebuilt, there's new HEL braided lines, there's new HEL braided clutch line, there's a new Oberon slave clutch slave cylinder. Oh yeah, boy, yeah. There's a new rear brake braided line. It's all new fluids, new air filter, K&N. Like, this thing is, it's a good bike, you know. And that's the other thing is, you know, if you sell something on, and this is just the way I think about it, you know what I mean, whether or not you make a loss on something, and you know, I don't think I have on this. I think I'm just about breaking even with the sale. You know, if you remove some of the things that I class as a holiday, I know some people don't. And some of the abuse I got on the video that I rode this back was hilarious, because it was just people who clearly didn't understand the concept of having an adventure in your life and enjoying it. Oh, viewing tower. I might want to go see that. Anyway, they clearly just didn't get the whole sense of adventure thing, and they were like, oh, you just wasted money. It's like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I had an adventure. I made memories that I will remember literally forever. And if that to you is a waste of money, then I feel bad for you. Pure and simple, I feel really bad for you. I'm kind of a little bit sad for you, because that's not how life should be. You know, money is one thing. You need enough money to put a roof over your head. You need enough money to eat food and feed whoever else might be dependent on you. But money shouldn't be a thing in an ideal world, and I know this is not always the case, otherwise I would currently be on a nice Africa Twin traveling around the world, or in Norway with some of my friends who are over there riding around on their bikes. So yeah, you can't do everything. You have to pick and choose sometimes. But definitely I would hate to see people not take an adventure, make some memories, just because they're that broke. You know what I mean? That would make me kind of a little bit sad. And that's people who don't get this. But anyway, like I said, I might be breaking even, or losing a little bit on it. Probably realistically, I'm probably losing a little bit on it. But I'm okay with that, because you'd hope that at some point the universe will pay you back. At some point the universe will say, this guy or girl or a person or human or cat, they did a good turn for someone, so they deserve a break. That's how I look at it. I'm not saying I believe in karma or magic. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh yeah, so nice. I can't leave poor Greg too far behind. There's also a lot of shit on the roads at the moment. Tractors and stuff, and stones and resurfacing. But yeah, you'd hope, even if you don't believe in all that stuff, which like I said, I don't really, you just hope that eventually the universe would do you a good turn back and you'd buy a bike with no problems second hand. And someone who believed like I do that selling on a good bike is the best way to sell a bike. That's why I did it. I know that was a really long-winded answer, but it's also the complete answer. And if you've watched this channel for any length of time at all, I'm given to a little bit of waffling. It's not something I can help. It's in my makeup. I don't even know, do I make sense half the time, but everyone watching seems to generally appreciate it, so I appreciate the hell out of that. I appreciate every time I release a video and it does well, and I mean well as in, it gets feedback, it gets people talking to me. Don't kill us, don't, no killy, no kill, please. But yeah, every time it gets good feedback, every time it gets lots of comments, that's a win to me. That's something that makes me really happy. That's something that gives me a good feeling that I've made something worth watching, and that's, I suppose, it's part of the bike. One of the things that will give me a huge amount of pleasure is if Aidan takes this bike out, enjoys the living hell out of it, and comes back and says, Mike, that bike is so much fun, thank you for selling it to me. I had an absolute blast on it. That to me would be a victory, a pretty huge one. And why are you driving so slowly? This is an 80 km/h zone, and this is the problem. Driving that slowly is just as dangerous as driving really fast. If in a lot of cases not more dangerous than driving really fast, in my opinion. You come around the corner and someone off in the distance is going really fast, you're not going to hit them. If you come around the corner and someone's going that ridiculously slowly in a much faster speed limit zone, that is far more dangerous in my opinion. Far more dangerous. Anyway, if you have any questions about this bike, or about the trip that I did to get the bike, or about any of the stuff I did to the bike, let me know. Stuff that I didn't have time to do, that I wish I had time to make videos on. I did buy the cable kit for this from AP Workshops and stuff, and all of those parts are being handed over to Aidan as part of the deal. And I hope he fits them, and I hope he enjoys them, and I hope they make the bike even more reliable than it already seems to be, and I hope it serves them well for many years to come. And I hope anyone who buys a bike out there, I hope you all have good luck. And if we all just, this is getting soppy, but I don't care, if we all just did more to make sure we're selling on a bike in good condition, there might be more bikers on the road, there might be more happy bikers on the road, and that's always a good thing. That's a good thing. And you'd hope that whatever thing you want to call it, karma, the universe reflecting things onto you, you'd hope that it pays you back at some point in life. That's what I will say. Not trying to get too deep or anything, but that's what I would hope, and that's what I would say. So yeah, that's the story, I suppose, of why I put so much time and effort into fixing this bike. Is just because I wouldn't like to sell on something that wasn't good. Like, for instance, Grega. You know, Grega bought this CB500X. I know I've mentioned this in a few videos. But he's just been able to get on that and put how many kilometers onto it?
5K.
5,000 kilometers? No way. No way. You've already put 5,000 kilometers onto it?
I bought it at 54.
Whoa. This man never gets off this thing. He has not had that long. That's impressive. But you know, someone like Grega, for instance, buys a bike and is just able to jump onto it and enjoy it like that, and now he's a biker forever. You know, that's the beauty of it. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, do leave them down in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Aidan, very best of luck with this bike. I hope you enjoy it way more than I have, because I have not owned it long enough, in my opinion, to enjoy it to the totality of what I would have liked. But I do hope it brings you great joy and happiness. And yeah, until next time, as always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. I really do appreciate the support you give the channel. And yeah, until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. Do you want to give another question to the outro crew? It has to be different.
Oh, another one.
Yep, you're on the spot today, Greg.
Okay. This one is a little bit special. It's about fashion.
Ooh.
Do you like, or do you prefer textiles?
Yes.
Or leather?
That's a good question. So Grega asks, do you prefer...
Comment down below.
He's getting good at this. Grega asked, in case you didn't hear him, do you prefer textiles, like we're both wearing, or leather, like his boots? You know, what would you prefer wearing? A leather jacket, leather pants, or like me, bike jeans, my Indie Ridge boots, and a textile jacket? What do you prefer? Let us know down in the comments. Bye, outro crew.